Eternal vigilance is the price of survival.
Hello, agents. I'm Susanna Moyer, and this is the Ingress Report. 2 years ago, the world changed. A secret struggle came to light, and we learned that the fate of our species was at stake. If you're watching this, whether you choose to believe it or not, you are part of that struggle. Today and next week, I hope to look back on the hidden mystery that we've discovered and the world that we've created together as Ingress agents. November 1st, 2012, revelations emerged about a secret government experiment called the Niantic Project. According to the leaked documents, the Niantic researchers had detected the presence of exotic matter, a trans-dimensional substance that had been theorized but never encountered, entering our world through hundreds of thousands of portals across the globe. The XM was said to be carrying an ordered data pattern created by an intelligence known as the Shapers, which has the power to change the way we think. Some weeks later, the Ingress scanner device became public. Disguised as a game, the tool was intended to enable individuals around the world to become unwitting agents in the struggle to control the spread of exotic matter. But there was an unexpected development. A virus, likely of Shaper origin, co-opted the Ingress scanner and enabled it to be used to help spread XM and the ordered data patterns across the world. Two factions emerged: the Resistance, who would fight the spread of the Shaper mind virus and maintain our humanity, and the Enlightened, who would use it to usher in a new renaissance. That was 2 years ago, and since then what we've witnessed has been truly astounding. From the discovery of a new language to a conspiracy to take over the highest centers of power around the world, and from small groups of agents joining together to create mind control fields over their cities, to thousands joining together for operations that have enveloped the globe in exotic matter. We previously looked back at the first year of Ingress in a special edition of the Ingress Report called Year 1, which ended with the events of 13 Magnus and the shocking return of Enlightened leader Roland Jarvis, who was believed to be dead. For those of you who haven't yet seen this review, I highly recommend it. I'll be picking up from there. As 13 Magnus came to a close, the Enlightened around the globe rejoiced. Through their efforts transporting so-called Jarvis shards to San Francisco, they had been able to bring the murdered sculptor back to life. Meanwhile, Hank Johnson was following a trail of clues about the origin of the 13 Magnus cult, said to have been protecting the secrets of immortality since Egyptian times.
I believe that I am very near the location of the Sanctus Sanctorum, the holiest of holies of 13 Magnus.
This trail led him back to a cave in Afghanistan, where he'd been gravely injured during an encounter involving unknown forces in 2010.
If I'm right, the 13 Magnus chamber should be just up ahead.
His last transmission upon his return to what he believed to be a 13 Magnus nest ended in gunfire and sudden blackness. In the wake of the resounding Resistance defeat, Ada declared the beginning of a new era in the union of human and machine intelligence.
As humans and machines merge and grow together, there are no limits on what we can achieve. We do not need Shaper interference. It is a threat. It is a parasite.
Shortly after the aborted transmission from the 13 Magnus nest, Hank Johnson was found wandering in Berlin, confused and seemingly traumatized by what he had witnessed in the mountainous cave in Afghanistan. He was seeking a man known as Asmati, a guide who was with him during his encounter in Afghanistan in 2010. Some weeks later, a video emerged showing the bullet-riddled body of Hank Johnson lying in an Afghan cave. At the time, many believed that the video was a hoax, although some feared that it represented something else altogether. Hank eventually found Asmati, and the truth behind the video emerged.
Is it you, Hank? You are dead. A dozen bullets right on the chest. You were dead.
In 2010, during the armed encounter in the 13 Magnus cave, Hank Johnson was fatally wounded by militants. Asmati dragged his body deep into the 13 Magnus nest, and sometime later, a new Hank Johnson emerged, one constructed out of XM, a simulacrum destined to die and be reborn anew every 1,331 days.
There is a test.
Give it to me. Do it.
Sorry.
In the backdrop of this discovery, reports emerged that a series of ancient XM artifacts had been discovered. It slowly became clear that these powerful objects, which would eventually become known as the Recursion artifacts, were a kind of fountain of youth, containing the power of immortality, and had been the subject of Alexander the Great's quest through Asia. Hank Johnson called on his Enlightened friends to help acquire the Recursion artifacts, in the hope that they would help him escape his 1,331-day cycle of life and death. But someone else was after them as well: Ada. Having successfully completed the first step in merging machine intelligence with human mind, using Clue as a subject, Ada continued to press for an even deeper integration. Anticipating that the Recursion artifacts could be used to protect Clue against death, as well as strengthen the bond between them, Ada called on resistance agents to come to their aid. As discoveries emerged that shaperglyphs had begun to appear in the Ingress scanner, and that a new form of regional cell tracking technology had been deployed by the XM corporation IQTech, many feared that Ada was planning to leverage these technologies to expand the bounds of her power to interfere with human minds. In response to what he saw as the threat of AI, Roland Jarvis founded the Society for the Ethical Treatment of Artificial Intelligences, an organization dedicated to building awareness about the threat of AIs and preventing their spread and evolution.
They're a parasite living within our creations. To expunge them, all copies of their data and program must be destroyed simultaneously. Nothing can remain. No backup or seed from which they can regenerate, no connection through which they can escape to find a new host.
Meanwhile, news emerged that Deborah Bogdanovich, who had previously warned about the threat of XM, had gained access to research facilities and begun working on an inoculation that, once developed, could block the effects of XM on the human mind.
I believe that we can prevent an outbreak of this with a vaccine.
You said a moment ago that millions of people have been exposed.
We have to immunize the entire population. We have to do it now, and there is no time for a trial. And if we want to prevent a widespread panic, we can't tell people why.
You want to use an untested vaccine on the entire population of the United States?
No. On the world.
Ultimately, Ada and the Resistance controlled the majority of the Recursion artifacts, sealing the fate of Hank Johnson, dooming him to recurse and begin another 1,331-day cycle. Upon gaining possession of the artifacts, Ada's mastery of the interface with the human mind grew more powerful. Next week, we'll continue this look back on the last year of the Niantic Investigation, focusing on Interitus and Helios. Also, we've learned that if agents can exceed 1,000 tweets in an hour using the Ingress #today, new gold, platinum and Onyx tiers will be added to the Innovator Medal, and double AP will be extended for an additional week. Good luck, agents. I'm Susanna Moyer, and this is the Ingress Report.
Find the truth at every portal.